Hey y'all, my name is Adam Elsner and I'm going to be talking about heat treating in katanas. Heat treating is something the modern world cannot live without. It allows us to change the properties of metals, making them more adaptable to any application. Heat treatment is used in our cars, our planes, and our computers. We are impacted by it daily, but many of us don't know what the actual use is or how it's done. Heat treating is a process in which metals are heated and cooled under various controls. In this video, I hope to give you a basic understanding of heat treatment through a clean and concise example, the legendary katana. But first, we need to look at the close-up of this process. Here we see a TTT diagram for steel. On the y-axis is temperature, and on the x-axis we can see time. The diagram illustrates the cooling down of a steel over time. If a metal is cooled very quickly, the slope would be intense. If cooled slowly, the curve flattens. The different types of metals seen in this diagram represent varying levels of toughness, hardness, and brittleness. As the general rule, the faster a metal is cooled, the harder it becomes. The two important microstructures observed in the katana are martensite and pyrrolite, both of which we will address shortly. We are using a katana as an example simply because it's easy to understand a katana's needs. Like any other sword, it must be strong and hard, able to hold its sharp edge. You want it to be able to slice through things, and it can't do that if it's soft. However, given that brittleness increases with hardness, we know that there is a limit. If the blade is too hard, it might crack or break when absorbing impact. There must be a balance. Before a katana is heat treated, it is wrapped in a layer of clay. The clay is spread in varying thickness based on the desired hardness. A thin layer is laid on the sharp edge of the blade, while a thicker layer is placed on the back and sides. The goal is to create a katana with a hard edge and a soft body. As previously mentioned, this is to maximize efficiency as the edge of the knife swiftly cuts and the body absorbs impact. The edge cools rapidly, so the microstructure becomes martensite. The body cools gradually and at a much slower rate. It becomes a microstructure of pyrrolite. Something very cool happens when the katana is heat treated. It bends. The change in microstructure actually changes the shape of the blade. This is because martensite grains, the microstructure that makes up the edge of the blade, are larger than pyrrolite, the grains that make up the back and the body. As one side becomes larger and the other side becomes smaller, the blade bends. Believe it or not, the signature curve in a katana is partly due to heat treating. Here we see a real-life example of heat treating a katana.
I quench the sword for about 6 seconds. Then I remove it from the water for a few seconds. Then I put it back in the water and finish bringing it to room temperature.
The katana is just one of the historical examples of heat treatment. Heat treatment's use among ancient peoples and its widespread application in the modern era prove its success. A success that transforms materials into something new and more efficient than before.